Friends, in today's podcast, I'm going to talk about a topic which is very unpopular right now: commodity cycles. If you ask people whether it's worth playing commodity cycles or not, in today's context, most people would tell you that it's not worth playing commodities. To those who have been in the stock market for a long period, nothing can be more paradoxical. Because most of the investors who have made big money in the Indian stock market have got rich playing the commodity stocks. They probably invested the money they made in the commodity stocks in other more predictable businesses, and those in turn became compounders. But the capital for all those big investments probably came more often from commodity stocks than from the compounders. And this is the worst kept secret of the Indian stock market. Yet, newbies or investors who have badly seen one cycle find it completely unacceptable to look at commodities as an investment. To play them or not is a question that has a simple answer. If you're the kind who does not want to look at making trades, big trades and windfalls in the stock market, you can possibly avoid playing commodities. But if you're the kind who wants to emulate the more eminent investors in our stock market and the biggest names, I don't need to name any of them, but all of them I would say, you probably need to think of mastering and playing one or two commodities whenever the cycles are in favor. So the question of playing them is a choice depending upon what you want out of your investing. So who can play them? Only those who have nerves of steel and guts to go the extra mile can play commodities. You need to have tremendous courage to buy when nobody wants to buy, and you need to hold on to a highly volatile investment whose journey sees several ups and downs, sharp in every one of their moves, and you need to be ready to experience what I would think is a roller coaster equivalent in investing. Needless to say, this needs a lot of preparation. I would think the best preparation is to follow a commodity intensely in one cycle, maybe with a very small position, and trying to practice how you should invest in commodities. Typically, I think that an expert evolves through practice. I don't think any amount of theorizing and reading about how all those great wizards did it will make you into one. Because when it comes to batting, you need net practice. Similarly, when it comes to playing big matches in investing, you should have played several matches before, which means you should have seen earlier cycles as a participant. Sometimes, even when you have learned about how commodities behave in one cycle, the next cycle also can be missed because you tried to time it finely. Then you need to wait for the third cycle. So it's not as if you decide to master something by reading a dozen books, reading about half a dozen grades, and you think you're ready for the game. I don't think that's the way to do it. You need practice, actual investing in one commodity cycle with a smaller position, making all those mistakes, learning from them, recording your mistakes, telling yourself in writing how you would do it differently, keep reading it repeatedly and wait for the next cycle. So what does it take to do this? Clearly, it requires an attitude to accept your mistakes, to understand and internalize that commodities butcher investor egos. Knowledge doesn't pay, temperament does. And most of the time, probably intuition works better than intelligence, especially in decision making. So you need to develop these attributes in one cycle, practice them in the second cycle, and hopefully master them in the third cycle. Only then I would think somebody who's trying to learn this will turn out to be effective. There are some very rare people for whom everything comes naturally. They've probably done everything in another lifetime. I mean, that's rare, but there could be people who are having that skill, and for them, maybe they will do it right even in the first cycle. When do you buy a commodity stock? I would typically buy a commodity stock when the commodity prices are low, when the asset prices are a fraction of their replacement, maybe 20 to 30% or 40%. And I would hold them. I would not trade them in between. And when do you sell? I would ideally sell them when the asset comes to replacement value and probably moves from replacement to 1.2 or 1.3 replacement. There are people who have held it to twice or thrice replacement cost in the past cycles, but I don't know whether the current shorter commodity cycles will give us that kind of a valuation stretch. So in the current environment, I would think that start at replacement valuation and sell to 20 or 30% more. There are exceptions to some commodities where shares do trade significant premium to replacement because the earnings are so superior. Typically, these are cartelized industries, maybe like a cement. The way in which you play those industries should be different from the way you play metals or sugar or any other industry where the market dynamics cannot be controlled by a few players beyond the point. So these are some of the thoughts on commodity cycles and how to play them. It is every investor's dream to make very fast money. Commodity cycles can give us that if we are able to time it perfectly and enter just when the cycle turns in favor and hold on to your investment till it has reached a particular target. You need to get out once you have reached the target and have a disciplined approach to exit, because fortunes turn very fast and the most unexpected events can come and spoil your party. So profit needs to be snatched. You need to grab your positions in time, hold them for the right duration, snatch your profits and keep walking. That's in the short essence of winning in commodity investing. I'm sure everybody wants to do it, but only a few people with the right temperament can do it. Happy investing. Keep watching our channel. Thank you very much.